Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Crafts with Corey. Today's episode is going to be about walnut dyeing. There's a billion videos about how to do walnut dyeing. It is older than I can't even imagine. The technique of walnut dyeing fabric. So this is not going to be an in-depth how-to. This is literally just what I'm doing with it. So I have a jacket, a 18th century jacket that is brown wool on the outside. The lining is actually basically stark white. And what I want to do is to color the inside lining so it's darker. Just looks more correct in my eyes, as well as it'll be able to hide stains better that way. So today's episode is about doing that with walnut dye. The big thing that with this is that you can always go darker. You can't go lighter with walnut dye. Super easy, super straightforward as far as from what I've briefly researched. Again, there's a million videos about how to do it. This is not a how-to. This is what I'm doing with it and maybe a brief introduction. Go do your own research. So I've got several walnuts here. These are pretty ripe, picked up off the ground, holes and all. Right here I've got probably about 20. I'm actually kind of filming this video backwards. So what I'm going to be showing right now is basically making a super concentrate dye mix that I can have at any instant, at a moment's notice, ready to go. So I'll show how I do that, and we'll go from there. Alright, one thing I forgot to mention in the previous video is wear gloves. Walnut stains. It's a stain. It stains everything. Okay. Another good thing about walnuts is that once it dyes something, it stays. It won't come out once you wash off the excess, obviously. But it'll stay. It won't rub out on everything. It won't rub on anything. So I have a bucket of literally boiling water. I kind of guesstimated just enough that I can put it on my walnuts. These are the remaining walnuts that I got. Again, pretty ripe. So, pretty easy. I'm just going to crush them up, put them in there, and let it do its thing. I will probably let this set for a long while, probably till it cools, because this is going to be basically a mix, walnut mix that I can use at any time, kind of a super concentrated stuff. Don't look too close at my walnuts because they have been sitting for a while. There's a couple of creepy crawlies in them. So yeah, I'm just going to keep on adding walnuts. I've got a mixer, and then I'm mixing them around and let it kind of do its thing, kind of let it sit for a little bit, and then I will strain out the excess, all the extra little crap stuff, and then I will put it in a bottle, gallon container. Honestly don't know if it'll keep or how long it'll keep, but it's something. So here goes nothing. Cut to me actually using it on the jacket. Okay, so here is the jacket. It's a brown outside jacket wool. The lining is white, lily white as the driven snow. Admiral Nelson would be happy with the white sails. So, the goal is to not get it dark, but get it a dingy brown. So in the bucket we go! Bucket. Get in the bucket. Also wear gloves. Very important. And already it's getting to be a nice dingy kind of color here. I'm not going to leave it in long. Just a couple of minutes. I can always go darker. Can't go lighter. Move it around here. Make sure everything's covered. Get out the random bits of stick. It's not looking too bad. So, we're going to leave it in there. This is also hot water. Cool enough I can still put my hand in it, but pretty hot. Alright, next step we'll be taking the jacket from the dye bucket into a bucket of cool, clean water and rinse out all the excess dye, and then finally hanging up and letting it air dry on a clothesline. Look, this is after 2 rinses. It looks kind of pink on film here, but it's actually a kind of a dingy brown. Can always go lighter, can always treat it again. I didn't let it soak for too long. I was too worried about it taking up too much dye, but I can always do it again. So that is the first rinse water. Second rinse water is a little clearer. Now we just let it hang dry and see how it goes. Okay, here is the final color of the jacket. It's still pretty white, but it's got a nice dingy color. Compare this to the outside of a dark brown. The outside didn't get affected at all by the walnut dye. Pretty still dark brown. But I think this is a nice kind of compromise. I know the color doesn't come through correctly on video, but it does have a nice hint of brown. So just a nice difference and getting rid of that stark white color that is not really correct. So I call this a success. If I wanted it darker, I could just plop it in and let it sit for longer, but this is a nice shade.